let's just start with the first thing, just the like takeaway from what's actually what the behind the scenes stuff of that suit is. Okay, so it's a suit of Spider-Man, and it says murder. And you know, yes, people have made the case it could be an Art Deco, people making designs. So fine, you can write off why it's Toby's suit, but that's a clear line. That's if you have the inspiration pie chart, that's a clear line connecting them up. There's a picture of Spider-Man, so clearly he exists in this world, and it says murder. And when was the last time we saw Spider-Man in a movie being accused of murder? So clearly, you got the studio one, and then you got the Spider-Man murder painting, right? So you could go, okay, these are connected to the MCU, but those to me are slight references, right? Those are the most where it's like a wink and a tap of the tip of the hat being like, oh, we're kind of connected, but not really. So that's fine. And then the trailer, I knew something was coming because it ends, and I know we're going to get a tag, right? And I think most of us know that. We've seen enough trailers. But I just felt that it was going to be something this spoiler. And we've heard rumors that J.K. Simmons is as Jonah, and that's what I honestly thought was going to be. And even then, it is a tip of the hat, but you could still kind of be like, oh, that's Toby's J.K., or that's just like he's playing J.K. all the time. There was nothing really a full-on connecting. I know J.K. was in those, but J.K.'s played the role before, so you could have some fun with your headcanon, right? All of a sudden, Michael Morbius. Oh, you're not a good. Hey, Doc, you're not a good guy after all. Whatever this line he says. Adrian Toomes, Vulture, pops up out of nowhere, as they say about Randy Orton's RKO. So, does this make Morbius in the MCU? It's a tricky situation because we've been talking about this all day in the group chat. That it doesn't really affect it, but technically, characters that are in the MCU are over there. That would imply that they're living in the same world, and they can do the association with Marvel, and they can do the different universes. That doesn't feel like a different universe to me. I thought with different universes, and that's why it's been weird lately. Like some kind of C plus B tier scooper has been like, oh, they're gonna reference stuff from the MCU. I thought it was gonna be like Tom Holland will appear in a Morbius 2 or a Venom 2 in a cameo or even as a role. And maybe it'll just be like he's on vacation and he had a trip, or just they won't even mention it and he's just somewhere in San Francisco and this is happening and he's in the movie. I didn't think it was going to be a full-on tying it to Vulture or someone like that, because at the end of the day you can be like, oh, that's kind of the same thing. But Vulture has a history with Spider-Man, but then he has a history with the Avengers. He has a history with Iron Man, specifically Tony Stark. So you are getting that whole package. And that's the thing, because with Tom Holland, you could kind of, to me, write it off as, even then, it's like, I guess it feels weird with Tom Holland. I feel like it would be less connected to the MCU because it's just like, oh, it's another Spider-Man movie. But with Michael Keaton in it, it just feels like, oh, where's he from? Oh, right, he's in Vulture. He's in that Spider-Man movie. That's with Iron Man. I know you would get that with Tom Holland, but there's just something about it where that's not ignoring a lot of stuff. That is, and obviously they probably won't mention those characters in association Marvel movies. But for me, you can play semantics all you want, and they can, and tons of fans are going to do that too, but they're in the same universe. They're more so in this universe than the Netflix Marvel were in this universe, in the MCU, because they made references, but not once did we see a character. Not once did we see Stanley in person. Not once did we see any of our characters interact with anyone from the films. So you could make that case that, oh, they're in an alternate universe. They're in a universe where, sure, there were how in the Avengers Endgame when they make these pocket universes where, oh, Loki got the stone, what happened when he escaped? You could say, oh, the Defenders are that universe where they were fighting crime, the attack happened, and they're off on their own. And you can go, okay, I can make that work. This is especially because Michael Keaton is wearing the exact same prison gear that he was wearing at the end of Homecoming. And he's standing outside a street by maybe like a shut down police van or something like that. So we have to assume that this is taking place in between Spider-Man Far From Home and Spider-Man Homecoming. So I guess you could always write off MCU and be like, oh, it happened in the past and was nothing big. But clearly Vulture gets broken out, and I'm wondering, and let me know in the comments below what you think, who would break him out? Would that be Michael Morbius? Would that be a Venom? Would that be somebody else? Because people have been throwing this around all day, and I can't say they're wrong. I find it hard to believe, but if you look what we got in play, you got Jared Leto's Morbius, you got Tom Hardy's Venom, you got Michael Keaton's Vulture from the MCU interacting with Morbius, you got Scorpion that was set up, you got Shocker if they want to bring back. That's five. And then the potential six is lots of people have been throwing on Jared Harris as Doc Ock, because apparently when he was cast, I missed this completely. So this is not like a, Joker I predicted to be this massive success. This is no Travis told you. Apparently when he got cast, I just heard he got cast. I didn't know that someone said it was like a top secret role or an unknown role. And then apparently right now he's just listed as mentor. So I'm not going to die on the sword and say, oh, he's Doc Ock, but I'm not going to tell people they're wrong by having that fan theory, because it all kind of lines up. The age, he's a great quality actor. It would be a right way of integrating him, but at the same time, this feels not exactly, but if it is Doc Ock, this feels like Amazing Spider-Man 2, where we're just doing a big setup and they just really want to do their Sinister 6 movie. It's like the same how he never got to make it, but Bryan Singer kept talking about so much how he wanted to make his Dark Phoenix movie and he never got to make it. That's what this feels like for Sony. So I don't know. And that's why, to my point, I think that Michael Keaton, Batman and Joker, that Morbius and Vulture meeting, I think that's near the end of the movie or maybe an end credits, because I remember when they showed the Venom trailer and they showed that thing of like, he's like holding the guy in the gas station and he just has some dialogue about like, we are one and I'm not a hero, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, that's the end of the movie. It was just the way it was the way it was paired. And that to me is the end of the movie as well, where it seems like maybe Michael Morbius got healthy and maybe he's been framed for something, or it looks like he's a bad guy and that's why he's like, oh, not such a good guy anymore, eh? So, and that's why maybe the Sinister Six is a bunch of like misunderstood criminals, right? You look at Tom Hardy, you look at Michael Keaton, they're all people that are villains, but they kind of are anti-heroes, have done something well. Yeah, Vulture was a bad guy, but did he turn in Peter Parker? No, he didn't, and he was doing it for his family, right? So that's what it seems like we're getting this collection. You have a Scorpion there as like this, wild card of he is a bad guy. He might turn at any moment. So, and that's why I am worried that they're worried, because I just feel like that did not leak at all. No, I didn't see any Reddit posts. I didn't see any F-tier scoopers talking about Michael Keaton and Morbius. That was huge. That was an ace in the hole. Now, I get it, because you got to build anticipation for this movie. So did it get me anticipated more? 100%. Did it get me asking a bunch of questions that a bunch of other people in podcasts and Twitter and YouTube are asking? 100%. So in that way, it does do good. I just worry that they're going to show a lot of these big surprises to get people in the theaters, because the movie is not going to be that good. I want any movie to be good.